Alright, Hosses, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start talking about Android threads. Now, as you guys know, threads not only can help speed up the performance of your app, but they're going to be used in a lot of different things concerning Android development later on, so it's a pretty important concept. And I'm sure that everyone already knows about threads from my Java tutorials, but just a real quick explanation. As you guys know, computer programs, they run from the top down, and they run pretty much in a nice order: A, then B, then C. You give it a list of instructions and it does whatever you say. Now the only problem with that is, say that you have three instructions: A, B, and C. And B, that middle instruction is, I don't know, maybe the user clicks a button and your app is going to perform some weird long calculation. Well, since your program is performing in a nice order, A, B, and C, that means that C has to wait for B to get done. So if the user clicks a button and it's making some calculation, then your app is going to appear to be frozen, and the user isn't going to be able to move anything around or switch activities or click anything until it's done. And what's going to happen then, they're probably going to get ticked off, close out of your app, rate at a 1 on Google Play, your app career is going to be destroyed, and you're just going to have a bad day. So that is why we're learning about threads, because I do not want your life to be destroyed. Alright, so what I did is I created a brand new project and I just chose all the defaults: blank activity, nothing weird or anything like that. So this is where I am right now. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of this text view, and I'm going to drag a large text in the middle of the screen. And what can I write? Actually, let me drag a button too. So essentially what this program is going to do is we're going to click this button, and first I'm going to show you guys what happens when you don't have threads. It's essentially going to try to make some calculation, freeze up, and pretty much I'm going to be breaking the app on purpose. And then I'm going to be showing you guys, when you use threads, how awesome it is. So for this button, we'll just write something stupid like click me. We'll say touch me. That's a little bit more perverted. Maybe touch me baby. There we go. So touch me baby, and this text, we could say hello. Not that perverted, but whatever. Alright, so for this text view, just give it an ID, and I'll just name it Bucky's text. And for the same thing for the button, I'm just going to give this an ID of Bucky's button. Alright, now the last thing I want to do is for this button, make sure you have it selected, and go down to on click, and I'll just write something like, we're going to call a method called click Bucky's button. So that way we don't have to set up a listener or anything weird like that. And of course, if you want, you can take care of your string resources right there, but I'm not really worried about it, aka I am lazy. So hop over to your code right here, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to create this program without using any threads at all, the improper way. So another thing is, make sure that you have your emulator started, boot that bad boy up. And okay, let's go ahead and import android.view.view and import android.widget.textView. So actually, how can I do this? Alright, now under here, let's go ahead and implement that method whenever you click the button. So public void, what was it, like click Bucky's button, I believe. Throw your views in there, and the first thing I'm going to do is, this is going to be the dumbest program ever, because we're just going to have a button in the middle of the screen, and again, this is for performing large calculations, but I really don't want to make any worthless calculations. So all I'm going to do to take up a bunch of time is I'm just going to have the system wait, pretty much just wait and do nothing for a certain period of time, and this is just going to simulate, I don't know, maybe like going to a database and gathering some data, or maybe figuring out some high score or something. or any calculation that takes a considerable amount of time, it's what it's going to simulate. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get 10 seconds into the future. So if you just make a variable called future time, you can do this by going system dot current time, and this of course is the time right now. Well, not right now. Whenever you run it, it's going to get the current time, and we're just going to add 10,000 to it. Now this is 10,000 milliseconds, so that means that future time, whenever this program runs, is going to be 10 seconds in the future. So now we're just going to make a real quick while loop, and we'll say while system dot current time milliseconds is less than future time. What do we want to do? Well, the first thing we're going to do is called synchronized, and I don't know if I taught you guys about this synchronized keyword in my Java tutorials. I made those like a few years ago, but what synchronized essentially does is it prevents multiple threads from bumping into each other or essentially trying to do the same thing. It I don't know, kind of synchronizes it. It's a pretty good keyword. Actually, I think I did teach this because I remember it, but again, we don't really need this for right now since we're not using threads, but later on we're gonna have it, so I figured I just might as well write it right now. Now inside here we're just gonna have the easiest try block ever, and check this out. All we're gonna do is wait, and we're gonna stick future time minus system current time milliseconds, and it's giving us an error because we didn't catch anything. So we'll just catch an exception and we won't do anything with it because I really don't care. Alright, so all this code does right here essentially is it just waits 10 seconds, and if your emulator is running a little slower or something, you can change the time of it right here, but 10,000 means 10 seconds. So again, this would obviously be some kind of calculation. You would never want to write this actual code in your app just to wait and do nothing, but for simulating some kind of calculation or background process, it's perfect. So after 10 seconds, after the user clicks the button and waits 10 seconds, what we can do is we can just change this text field right here. So text view Bucky's text set equal to text view r.id.bucky's text. And of course, once we have a reference to that text field, we can just change the text on it using set text. And I'll just write like nice job Haas whenever they click the button. So now let's go ahead and run this bad boy, and again, this is what's going to happen. Let me get this started first. So the user is going to click the button, and they won't be able to do anything for 10 seconds because it's trying to perform this bit of code first. That means that the button's going to be frozen. They aren't going to be able to switch activities. Nothing is going to be allowed for the user to do. Oh, that's nice, mate. Look at this app I just got. It's this app, and you touch this button, mate, and it changes the text right there. I mean, this technology is incredible. So let me just touch this button, and oh, it looks like it's frozen, and it ain't letting me do anything, mate. I'm just waiting here for 10 seconds, and oh, I can't click it again or do. Oh, well, there we go. Well, that was kind of a pain. So I guess I'm installing that, rating it 1 star on the App Store, and whoever developed it is probably going to be fired from their job. Oh, now we got this thing. Oh, MG. Alright, so this is another problem you got whenever your app's making a long calculation in the background. It says it isn't responding. Do you want to close it? You know what? This app sucks completely. It takes too long. It freezes up. So what we're going to do is, if you want to learn how to fix all of these issues, then watch the next tutorial where we are going to be taking this program and making it work beautifully.